Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be reviewing the Planet of the Apes reboot slash prequel trilogy leading up to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yes, Rise, Dawn, and War. So yeah, in this video, I am going to be reviewing Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So Rise of the Planet of the Apes is the first installment in the prequel trilogy, and it's essentially a prequel to the original 1960s Planet of the Apes films. It came out in the year 2011 and is directed by Rupert Wyatt, and it stars Andy Serkis, James Franco, Freda Pinto, John Lithgow, Brian Cox, Tom Felton, Karen Conovel, Terry Notany, Christopher Gordon, David Oyewolo, etc. And so this movie tells a story of scientist Will Rodman, played by James Franco, who is determined to find a cure for Alzheimer's, which is a disease that his father, Charles Rodman, played by John Lithgow, has. And so he basically works for this scientist company who experiments on apes. They're trying to find a cure for the apes, and so Will pretty much adopts an ape in which he names Caesar, and then he that also, just like the other scientists, tests the apes when it comes to the diseases, and also the fact that they also experiment on them to test their intelligence. But the more these apes become more intelligent, the more they realize that the other guys in the lab is doing no good, especially the boss, Stephen Jacobs, who apparently turns out to be a twist villain, and he wants his goal is far worse than just experimenting on apes, and so as you know, as it's revealed that the lab is actually a prison for the apes, they must mount a great escape in San Francisco in order to find a new home. So yeah, anyways, now I want to talk about the original Planet of the Apes films a bit, because I know you might be wondering why I'm not reviewing the old Planet of the Apes films and only this one. Well, that's because there's like so many Planet of the Apes films, and I don't think I'll have the time to rewatch each one. I've been busy lately. There are other movies I've been rewatching too, and yeah, so I think reviewing the trilogy is just easier because it's just 3 films. So yeah, now I will say though, I honestly am not really the biggest Planet of the Apes fan. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the 1960s Planet of the Apes films. I think it is a pretty good movie, but I honestly don't think it's a masterpiece. People are saying, oh, it's an instant classic. Yeah. But I'm sorry. It's not perfect. I don't see it as a masterpiece. And for 1968 standards, featuring apes, it is far inferior to the true best movie of 1968, 2001: Space Odyssey, which also featured apes, and that was far better. So yeah, again, it's good, I guess, but it's more solid than good. But the Planet of the Apes sequels, I don't give a shit about. I don't care about them. I think they're completely useless. They either go from forgettable to just pure ape shit. And speaking of ape shit, don't get me started on Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes film. Oh, that one right there, that is an abomination. That might be my least favorite Tim Burton film. Well, it's either that or Alice in Wonderland. Hate both of them. But then we get to a new thing at Planet of the Apes. I don't think anyone would have expected this to be good, because even me, Yeah, but if it wasn't for his trilogy, I wouldn't have been that much of a Planet of the Apes fan myself. And it, picture myself like back then in like 2010 or early 2011 before this movie came out. I wouldn't have been excited for this movie. Like I would have been like really, what the hell is this? Yeah, I wouldn't have been down for a Planet of the Apes prequel because, yeah, again, without this trilogy, I wouldn't have been a Planet of the Apes fan at all, and I would have said that the original is the only good one. But yeah, Rise is a film that is not directed by Matt Reeves, so that's something. And fun fact, guys, I actually saw Dawn first before this one. I'll talk more about that in my Dawn the Planet of the Apes review. But anyways, I think we should get my thoughts out of the way. This movie's great, man. This movie's amazing. And yes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is such a damn excellent movie. Yes, right off the bat, this is clearly the weakest movie in the trilogy. I kind of think that this movie should have been directed by Matt Reeves. It could have been a lot stronger than it ended up being. But I think Rupert Wyatt did do a solid job in giving his own take and direction on the Planet of the Apes films. As you know, the direction is typically one of the better aspects of these Planet of the Apes films. Because you know when a director has a distinctive style on the Planet of the Apes, then it gets cooking, and this film certainly cooks. And yeah, unlike the Matt Reeves films, unlike Dawn and War, which have a bigger scale to them, Rise of the Planet of the Apes has a much more scale, and for a good reason. Yeah, as you can see, this scale does feel very small in comparison, like very tiny. And it does make sense because this is basically the origin story of how Caesar came to be, and I like how the way that this film approached it. It's by starting off with Caesar when he was born, and so yeah, this movie is way more human focused, unlike the sequels which focus more on the apes. Well, War technically is the one that focuses more on the apes, while Dawn is basically a mix of both humans and apes. This one is more human focused than the apes. Typically, when it comes to creature movies, like you know, creatures or robots or anything inhuman, anything like that, whenever they focus on humans, that people would consider that a complaint. But when it comes to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, it actually does make sense to focus on the humans. Yeah, it works. Focusing on the humans more than the apes is works very well with the context of the plot. Plus, you know, imagine if this film focused on the apes more than the humans. I mean, like in this movie, the apes aren't even intelligent yet. Their minds are just going. So, in this movie, you see the apes as regular chimpanzees, and it makes total sense for that. Because you know that's really realistic character growth there. But if you actually focus on the apes, we wouldn't connect with them because you know they don't speak. They're not very intelligent. What are you gonna do? See chimps just do jack shit and just to yeah. I mean, human characters are there to actually provide the film with some support to actually make sure this film has a story. Because I bet if it focused on the apes like this, then there would have been barely a story. The fact that these apes are intelligent and they can talk is the reason why we connect with these apes later on. The fact that Caesar can talk is actually the reason why we connect with them. Imagine having Caesar as a central character, like, and the movie expects you to connect with him, but then he doesn't. But then his mind is still growing. He doesn't do anything. Yeah, imagine that. But usually when it comes to like these rope creature movies like that, human creature movies, like like a robot like that, or animal, or something inhuman, they make the human characters as bland as possible. but not in the case of these Planet of the Apes films. This movie actually has good characters. James Franco's Will Rodman is such an underrated protagonist, and he's by far one of the most likable human characters in a trilogy. I hear people say, "Oh, but he's so boring. He's such a boring character." I mean, I'm not gonna argue against that. It's fine. I don't mind it, but I think that yeah, Will is a much better character than you think. He's so likable, and you can clearly feel his love for Caesar throughout, and he actually is someone who acknowledges his mistakes. He sees himself as a villain, like remember in the very end of the film after the San Francisco Bridge, Will actually opens up like he stands up and tells Caesar he sees himself as the main villain of the movie, which in that case is not true. But I like how he's very honest and he's very loyal. From beginning to end, you clearly see his care for Caesar, and he never lets go of that. I like how there's never a time where he just yells at Caesar. He just he gets pissed off at Caesar. Yeah, and usually he does get pissed off. He gets pissed off at other people who harm Caesar, like the one guy who tried to hit him with a bat to get him out of the house. He would have gotten mad at Caesar for getting out of for trying to go to someone else's house, but no, I mean I like that. And also you also got Frida Pinto as Caroline, who is in my opinion even better and more likable than Will. Yeah, Caroline would actually be in my list of my favorite human characters in the franchise, but yeah, my personal favorite character in this movie, well, my favorite human character is Tom Felton's character. I forgot his name honestly, but whatever. Man, Tom Felton is so entertaining. Everything he's on screen, he just gives you a smile. I mean, yeah, sure, he is very hateable, but he's a villain. I mean, and he honestly might be one besides Colonel McCullough and the one and done with Planet Apes, Gary Oldman's character. He's among my favorite human villain characters. I mean, he is so menacing. Maybe he should have been the real villain of the movie, because that's the villain that the main antagonist that we did get. Oh boy, I'll get to him later. But yeah, he is such a pussy. You can literally you really feel this hatred inside of you for him because of how much he abuses these apes. And man, he has such entertaining lines. Yeah, Tom Felton gave an over-the-top performance. Yeah, his performance is just he's so wacky, but it makes the movie even more entertaining. In fact, that's the thing. This film is entertaining. Unlike Dawn and War, where they are deep films, this film is very simple, and I actually really like this film's simplicity. And it didn't need to be deep. It just needed to tell this origin story of how Caesar rose, or the story of the rise of the Planet of the Apes, just like what the title says. This is Caesar's rise, so of course there wouldn't yet be any social commentary and all that stuff. Caesar is definitely the best character of not only this film but the entire trilogy. I mean, come on, it's freaking Caesar. Now, yeah, I'll admit that there isn't really much to analyzing his character in this film specifically, so I'll analyze his character in my reviews of Dawn and War. But yeah, Caesar is, I'll just say, he's one of the best movie leaders ever. Andy Serkis gives an unmatchable motion capture performance. There is no denying. And of course, this film features my favorite scene, Planet of the Apes scene, period. Even though this is the weakest in the trilogy, it does contain my favorite scene. Basically, Tom Felton's character versus Caesar, where versus Caesar, and then we see Caesar grabbing Tom Felton's arm, and then Tom Felton's like, "Take your, get your stingy paws off of me, you damn dirty ape." And in that moment, probably the single greatest moment from Caesar, in my opinion, his first spoken word, where he's like, "No." Yeah, every time I watch that scene, it gives me chills, and the fact that you see everyone's reaction, everyone just shocked by the fact that Caesar could talk. Holy shit, man. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, Caesar just saying, "No." In fact, guys, by the way, after I rewatched this movie, that scene, that moment, was literally stuck in my head. Like as if I would like use Caesar's no ring as Caesar's no line like as a ringtone. That's how good it was. And Andy Caesar just yelling that, Andy Serkis just yelling that out. Oh man, that is just wow. Now I would say though that this film is not perfect, and there are a few flaws I had. One of my flaws is that I do think it is too short. Yeah, I know. I did say that this film being a smaller scale is a good thing, but maybe but 1 hour and 45 minutes. I don't think that was enough to fill an origin story. I think there maybe could have been a little more moments with the ape or something. But yeah, I don't know why, but it just went by a little too quick. I'm sure there could have been more, but I think the biggest problem with the film, the one thing I truly dislike about the film is the main twist villain, Steve Jacobs. Oh dear God. So basically, he's the boss of the company that Will works for, and so you expect, oh, he's just trying to do his job or something. But I mean, they don't even explain why he's doing this. Oh wait, they don't even explain his motivation. Oh wait, I know, it's for the money. But yeah, there is a scene that really shows his motivation, where he just tells Will, you're the vision, you're the creative, I'm the money. Like you get the, I forgot something, the creative vision like that. You get that, and I get the money. I'm the money. So all the abuse, the experimentations on the apes, and all the torturing of them, the abusiveness of them, it's for the money. My God, that is beyond cliche. And I know you're gonna make the excuse, oh, but it's in 2011. Like, why do you call this generic? Oh well, do you know that there were actually villains with this motivation who were just evil just for money, whose only motives is to doing shit is for money. Yeah, that's been done already, in like not even in the 21st century, I tell you. So yeah, I definitely count it as generic, and my God, yeah, man, and maybe unless if Mr. Krabs becomes a villain, like becomes revealed to be an actual villain with his motivation being for money. Well, with the exception of him, villains who are evil just for money purposes, and only that is the definition of lazy writing. And man, Steve Jacobs, my God, he is such a lazily written villain, and he is boring. He's such a bore of a villain as well. I don't think I'm gonna remember him. Yeah, he is without question the worst Planet of the Apes villain ever. Who agrees with me? So overall, while Rise of the Planet of the Apes is not a perfect film due to its overly short runtime and its poorly written villain, this movie is still brilliant in how it tells its origin story of the apes in such a very simple way with low stakes, and somehow it sort of works. I love the human characters who I mean, specifically Will, his girlfriend, Caroline, and Tom Felton's character, as well as the moments, any single moment with the apes. Yeah, this movie just rules. So with that said, I'm going to give Rise of the Planet of the Apes a 4.5 stars out of 5. So for my review of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, what are your thoughts on the film? Would this be your favorite in the trilogy, or do you agree with me that this is the weakest in the trilogy? And where would you rank this in your Planet of the Apes ranking? I will admit, I actually prefer this movie over the 1968 classic. There, I said it. Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Bye, guys.